I can't believe I'm about to put this on the internet. Welcome back! If you've been with me here on YouTube for any amount of time, you probably know that I have a lot of stories about a lot of people who do a lot of crazy things. It is true. I have encountered a lot of people who I like to classify as psychopaths. But I was thinking about it and I realized all of these stories that I tell make it look like the world around me is just a bunch of psychopaths and that I'm perfect in all of this. It's kind of like I put myself up on this moral high horse. Here's the thing, I don't tell you guys stories about when I'm an ass. Like, obviously I'm not gonna get on the internet and let everyone know that I'm a huge douchebag. So today I just wanted to make a video about times that if it had happened to me, I would say, wow, that girl's a psychopath. Let me tell a story about it on YouTube. This is one of my favorite stories, so I'm gonna start with this one. In my Girl Fights video that if you haven't seen, I'll link it in the description below so you can watch it. I talked about this girl, punched me in the face, ended up being my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend who I had never met, who just vehemently hated me, but I didn't really talk about what happened after that happened. Long story short, the girl punches me in the face. I look at her, I'm like, who are you? She falls to the ground, she starts sobbing and apologizing, and I'm like, oh, you're his ex-girlfriend. We end up going into the bathroom and having this little powwow, which was very weird because I was not drunk yet. I had just arrived at the bar, and I'm in a bathroom stall with my boyfriend's crazy ex-girlfriend sitting on her lap as she sobs to me, telling me how jealous she is of me and how I have everything she's ever wanted, and he treats me the way that she always wanted to be treated, which is crazy because he treated me like. During this powwow, she may or may not have confessed to me all of the times that my boyfriend cheated on me with her and confirmed a lot of stuff that I had suspicions about but I never acted on. And here's this she stands up and she's like, let's go do shots. And I'm like, yeah, let's do shots. So now, not only am I building a rage bubble inside of my chest, but I'm also getting drunk. And those two things don't normally go together. This girl's going off about how she cheats on her new boyfriend with this really hot guy. Oh yeah, by the way, this girl had a new boyfriend and guys on the side, but she was still crying over my boyfriend. No matter how crazy I sound in this story, I will never be as crazy as that. So her boyfriend was actually at the bar at the time. He abandoned her because she's a drunk mess on the floor crying about her ex-boyfriend, took her phone, took her keys. She's now alone with me at this bar and she is my responsibility. So now I'm in this predicament where I have to take care of my boyfriend's crazy ex-girlfriend who has done so much to f with me. But I'm genuinely enjoying it. I'm having a great time. So now it's my duty to try to get this girl home. We're walking down the streets of Oakland. That's where the University of Pittsburgh is. We're stopping at all these random parties along the way and just going in and drinking strangers' jungle juice, which is not safe. And we have this brilliant idea that we're going to go to my boyfriend's house and confront him together. So these two girls that he's been lying to for like a year, who he has successfully pinned against each other and made hate each other, are now hand in hand at his doorstep. He opens the door, he takes one look at us, and he makes a dead sprint for the back door. I mean, that kid was gone so quick. He could have been a superhero. If he had that power to run that fast at any given time, he could save lives. So he's gone. Left the door open. We're now inside of his apartment. This girl, she just goes, I'm gonna go find my boyfriend now. And I'm like, okay. But I'm still in his apartment. Normally, I feel like in this state, being, angry and hurt and discovering all these lies, that I would be acting out and screaming and whatever, but I wasn't. I was so eerily calm. I imagine my state to be what serial killers are like. I feel like serial killers don't just go around angrily stabbing people like, ah! They're normally like, first I'm going to capture you, and then I'm going to bind you, and then I'm going to cut you up into little pieces. Like, that's what I was doing. So I'm in his room and I'm looking around and I'm like, what am I going to do to pay this boy back for all of his wrongdoings? And I got nothing. Like, I'm not gonna break his TV. I'm not gonna whatever. I'm not gonna harm anything. I look over and I see that in running for his life, he left his phone. So I was like, I'm gonna steal that. And I did. And I didn't just steal his phone. I also stole his iPad. No reason. It was just there. And I was like, I'm gonna take this. And I left, shut the door behind me, went to my apartment. And before I fell asleep, I didn't have his password, but without a password, you can still master reset a device. So I wiped his phone and his iPad completely clean. I don't know why. I don't know what I was trying to accomplish. And then I happily just fell asleep and I woke up to a very strange noise that I had never heard before. For those of you that have never had to use that feature, that is the Find My iPhone feature. And it was in my room. I was very confused because I'd never heard the sound before. And honestly, when I wake up from a night out, I don't always think about what happened the night before right away. I was very confused and I looked around and I was looking for the sound and I found his phone and he was using the Find My iPhone feature and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? So in my sober state, I'm just like, okay, I wanted an iPad anyways. This is my iPad now. I'll throw the phone in the ocean. I don't care. This is theft. I could get arrested for this. It's crazy. What a crazy thing to do. I don't care how wronged you feel. I don't care. Like, and this guy sucked. He was a cheater. He was a liar. He was a manipulator. He was the worst. But I stole his iPad. What? I wish this had a more epic ending, but eventually what happened was his roommate was hitting me up and just talking some sense into me like, hey, you know you gotta give that back, right? And I was like, yes! I gave it back, but this other crazy thing I did, I'm still proud of. I don't care. I think it was the funniest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Same guy, same crazy ex-girlfriend. We were long distance, so I only saw him once over the entire summer. And this crazy ex-girlfriend, she just would not leave us be and our relationship be. She was always contacting him. I'm not the type of girl who will tell you that you can't have girlfriends. I'm not the type of girl who doesn't want you to have a relationship with your exes because I wish, and I told him this, I wish that my ex-boyfriend from high school was my friend and he's not. So I would never try to keep two people apart just for the sake of jealousy. But this girl didn't know boundaries. She didn't know limits. She said some really awful things about me. Really what all of this comes down to is I was an idiot in a really stupid, mistrustful relationship. You live and you learn. So over the summer, since we were long distance, I would ask him, you know, does she ever try to reach out to you? Do you ever talk to her? And I remember saying to him, I get it if you want to talk. I understand you wanting to be friends with your ex, but you just have to be honest with me. He swears up and down to me the entire summer that this girl and him do not communicate at all. They don't share one word. They're not friends. He doesn't want to be her friend and to not worry about it. School starts up again, summer's over, and we're back together, and I noticed that he has a new shirt. They're pretty expensive. They're like $50 a t-shirt, and I'd never seen that one before. And he got all weird. He was like, oh, my mom bought them for me. And I was like, oh, okay, calm down. I don't know why he sounds like such a sketchball, but okay. A few days into the school year, I catch him in a lie. I tell him I'm absolutely done with it. I had a nightmare of a summer, and I just don't want anything to do with him anymore. He breaks down sobbing, crying, apologizing, and I'm just like, tell me everything you ever lied to me about right now. He's telling me all of these lies. I'm just like, oh my God. And he ends it with, you know that t-shirt that I told you my mom bought me? And I was just like, I cannot wait to see where this goes. And then he breaks down sobbing even harder and he says, she didn't buy them for me, my ex-girlfriend did. And I was like, so not only did you lie to me about speaking to this girl, but you obviously spoke to her so much that she felt the need to send you a $50 t-shirt customized to the colors that you asked for. And not only that, but they live in different states, so he had to give her the address to send it to. And just like the first story, I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I kept my cool and I said, okay, go get it. And he was like, what? And I said, go get it. He went and he got the t-shirt and I said, okay, take those scissors right there, brings them over to me. And I say, no, I don't want them. You're going to cut this shirt to shreds. And he was like, you can't be serious. And I said, oh, I've never been more serious about anything in my entire life. And I just watched maniacally. I've never felt more at peace. So there you guys have it. I'm actually psycho too. Everyone has their moments. Let me know in the comments below if you lost all respect for me. Also let me know in the comments if you have any similar situations. Leave this video a thumbs up because I don't know. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not terrified of me. And this week's showstopper of the week is Hattie. This is her Instagram. She's the girl who sent me that box of German candy that I tasted with Shane Dawson. If you haven't seen that video, I'll also link that in the description below. She's very sweet and supportive. I constantly see her liking and commenting on my Instagram pictures, so thank you. As always, I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, y'all crazy, but you felt so good I'm on top of it when I dream. I'm doing you all night, scratches all down my back to keep me right on.
Hey, sirens, I know you're trying to save lives, but I'm trying to tell a story here if you don't mind.